A few years ago, Reloop came out with a portable digital recorder for your DJ sets called the Tape. Now they're back with a new version called the Tape 2. So let's take a look at the Tape 2 and see what makes it different from its predecessor. The Tape 2 is a small, compact digital audio recorder that allows you to record your DJ sets in either MP3 or WAV format. Now this is different from its predecessor, where the Tape 1 only allowed you to record in MP3 format. So for all the people out there that were worried about sound quality with the Tape 1, this has now been resolved because you now get the ability to record in a higher quality WAV audio format. And another big change from the Tape 1 to the Tape 2 is where those audio files are stored. Previously on the Tape 1, you actually had to insert a USB flash drive into the side of the tape, which added extra bulk as well as a little bit of extra weight and just made it a little bit more clunky to use. Now with the Tape 2, they've resolved that issue by now using micro SD cards instead of a bigger, bulkier USB flash drive. And while we're on the topic of improvements from the Tape 1 to the Tape 2, another big one is now the Tape 2 includes a rechargeable built-in battery. Previously, you had to carry around an AC adapter with the Tape 1, which made it even less portable. All of these things have been streamlined into one package, which makes this way more useful than its predecessor. And since we're talking about usefulness, why would a DJ use the Tape 2 instead of something like the record function in their DJ software? Now, what I think is the best use case for the Tape 2 is actually for the DJs that don't use the laptop at all. I'm talking about DJs that play on flash drives, if they use Rekordbox or Engine Prime, and they're just using, media players and a mixer. This allows them to have something simple, something compact that can plug into the mixer with just one plug, and they can go ahead and start recording with the push of a button. And the second use case is for the DJs out there that might not have the latest and greatest laptop, and using extra functions in their DJ software, such as a record function, might provide some extra strain on their computer and actually cause it to be a little bit more unstable. Having an external recorder alleviates that completely because it's not using the computer at all, and you're still getting a nice quality digital recording. And third, for someone like me that likes taking their portable turntable around and getting some cut sessions in, maybe at a buddy's house or just somewhere out and about, it's nice to have a portable digital recorder out instead of having to drag my laptop out and record into that. Or maybe, instead of using my phone and having to carry a bunch of different cables to make that work, having the Tape 2 there by my side, it already fits in my bag where I keep my portable turntable. So it's nice for good on-the-go recording as well. Now, as we take a look at the Tape 2, it really has some nice basic controls that can really get the job done really easily. You have your power button that also doubles as a record start and stop button. You have a bunch of LEDs right underneath that really give you a lot of information regarding either the power or battery, the record, the level, if it's peaking or not, and things like that. That really gives a visual feedback. So if you're recording in a dark environment, you can have that tape laid out right next to your DJ setup with those lights facing upward, and you know exactly what's going on with your recording. Then on the front of the tape, you have a micro SD card slot, which can take an SD card up to 128 gigabytes. So that's hours and hours of mixing. Then next to that, you have your input, which is on an 1/8" jack, and then a through output as well. So if your mixer only has one output, no worries, you can still run your output into the tape, then take that through output and take it out to your speakers, and you're still good to go. Then on one side of the tape, you have your selector switch for either recording in MP3 format, which is 320K, which is nice high quality, as well as WAV, which is even higher quality. And next to that is another difference. We have an input gain control. So you can actually control the input level going into the tape. Previously, the Tape 1 didn't have any input control at all, and you'd have to handle that all on the mixer. And that might not work out, especially if you don't have a complicated PA system where you have another place where you can turn the speakers on your output up or down. So this alleviates that and just makes this even more seamless. Then finally, on the other side of that, you have a micro SD port, which is used for charging the built-in battery. Then finally, next to that, you have your mode selector for the SD card, where you either have it locked, meaning you can't record, or delete, unlocked, which lets you, go ahead and add more recordings to the Tape 2. Then finally, you have transfer, which turns the Tape 2 into an SD card reader. So it makes it very easy to transfer the files from the Tape 2 onto your computer. You just plug in a USB cable using the same port that you would use to charge the Tape 2 and plug the other end of the USB into your computer and just go ahead and transfer your files. Or you can take the SD card out of the Tape 2 and plug it into another SD card reader and do it that way as well. Either way works and allows for some flexibility for transferring your files. So now let's change the angle and take a look at how easy it is to set up the Tape 2 for recording your DJ sets. So the overall setup of the Tape 2 is very simple. You just need a few things. You're going to need the Tape 2 itself, you're going to need a micro SD card, and then you're going to need this cable right here, which is an 1/8" to an RCA, and this is included in the box, so really cool. All you really need to buy besides the Tape 2 is this micro SD card to get started, and then you're good to go. So first things first, you're gonna have to take the Tape 2 and then go ahead and just insert the micro SD just like that. And then just power the unit on just by holding down the power button. Then you see those LED lights pop up. This green one right here, that's solid, lets you know that the SD card is good to go. And then from there, I just need to go ahead and plug this 1/8 inch into the input on the side of the tape, and then plug this into an RCA output of your mixer. So for me, that's right here. And then the last step is just to hit the button and start recording. Now you can see right there, the light is flashing, so I'm good to go, and I am recording. So now that I'm recording, let me put the needle to the record, and then let's see if we get some signal. And just like that, you see this light, it's a little hard to see. It is blinking, showing me that I do have signal, so maybe I need to turn that up a bit. So let's go ahead and adjust the volume of that. Turn up the output right there. And now you see it's a solid green. That light right there showing you that I am actually recording and I am getting signal in. But another cool feature is if I go ahead and really blast this up and turn this all the way up, now that light turns red. And if it's red, that means you're peaking, which is no good. And that recording is going to come out trash. So it's really cool to see that as I turn it down, the light changes colors. So I know how healthy my signal is. And if it's, you know, a nice, healthy, hot signal, or right here, it's like turning orange, a little yellowish orange, that may be a little too hot. So I might want to turn it down a bit. So you get a lot of feedback out of this thing, and it's so simple to set up. And I'm going to start carrying this in my bag as just a way to record my sets. It's just so easy. Just plug this into one of the outputs on your mixer, hit one button, and you're good to go. So that's a look at Reloop's latest digital audio recorder, the Tape 2. And in the end, it's a nice, easy way for DJs to record their mixes regardless of what format they're using. Whether it's on flash drives or on a laptop or even using vinyl, they can all be recorded in a one-button push using the Tape 2.